to do some shit in return for you.
Right, and that's kind of entitlement a little bit for me. Kind of going a little more into definition as we talking.
Right. So here's the thing. So this is what I realized, and this is another thing that made me want to talk about it. I have realized that people, as people, and I'm not going to say people like it's other people, but I've realized that when we have friendships and relationships, we tend to come up with an idea of how we think those people should be friends in our lives. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we come up with how these people should be friends in our lives, and I feel like if they don't meet what it is that we've come up with amongst ourselves,
right,
then we have this attitude, and we have this sense of, well, they need to do this because this is how they are, because this is what I see them as doing and being in my life. And the problem is, you cannot expect for somebody to, you cannot do something for somebody and expect for them to reciprocate in the manner in which you've come up with in your head. Or you cannot do something for somebody and think that you're entitled to them actually giving you what you think it is that you deserve.
Right.
Just because that's what you think. And I think all too often in relationships and friendships, we tend to think people owe us something. It's not even really, I don't think, some people really do think that their friends and their loved ones and the people that they're in relationships with owe them something. Like they're entitled to something because they give this person their time, or they may give somebody their energy, they may give somebody some help here and there when they need it. But if you think about it, any type of genuine friendship and relationship, like you said, you do it because you want to do it, and you're doing it out the kindness of your heart. You're not doing it because you have an ulterior motive. So because you have this ulterior motive, now this sense of entitlement is going to be there. And the longer that what you feel you're entitled to is unfulfilled,
mm-hmm.
the person is now their sense of urgency or being mad that they haven't got it is slowly but surely just, you know what I'm saying, rising. And then they blow up and you like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? Because they've been entitled the whole time.
Let's take a pause real quick. Let me read what this person said real quick. Go up. He said something before that.
So, if y'all are just tuning in, we are talking, the title for tonight is Entitled Much with the question mark. We're talking about people having a sense of entitlement in friendships, relationships, you know, just period. As you matriculate through life, like everybody be feeling like they entitled to some shit. So, Rodney, that's his name.
Oh, no, you don't got to say his name. I was just wanting to read what he said.
It's all right.
So, okay, my thing is, if you're entitled to anything, you better be with me, because my best friend can help me with a lot of shit, but that don't mean I have to give or get her anything I choose to give him or her.
Something. I'm just saying.
If you're a fuck buddy for years, great, but that's it. I choose to give you
anytime or anything I'm petty. So pretty much he's saying that if a person is entitled to anything, like you have to be with him. Like at the end of the day, he said him and his best friend, you know what I'm saying? Him and his best friend, they help each other out, you know. And at the end of the day, he chooses whether or not he gives somebody something. So this is the thing. Here's another scenario. He said, but when I make it big, you know, I got you. See, if you ain't get there before me, laughing out loud, but I still got you regardless. Oh, baby, I got you too. You already know that. So again, if you're joining us, it's Entitled Much. We're talking about people who automatically feel entitled to things in relationships, friendships, etc. So with that being said, another example can be okay, so
well, let me say this though, real shit. I do feel entitled sometimes, and I'll tell you why.
Okay. You better not say no wild shit.
No, I'm not going to say no wild shit. I'm going to say real shit.
Alright.
I always say real shit.
Alright.
So, at times, like, if I take all my time and my energy, I'm not talking about friends. Like, let's just say somebody that I'm talking to, like, not no girlfriend, but, you know, I don't date, so I don't know what the fuck dating is. But if I invest enough time in you and I'm fucking calling you and shit, then I feel entitled that when I call your ass, you need to fucking answer the phone. And if you don't, I really get mad. So if I call 2 times, yo, if you bullshit me, I swear to God, I would delete your number and I would never call you again. No more. Like, I really feel entitled for that shit. That's just me, though. I'm telling you both sides. Like, I'm being honest.
So...
Oh, he say just say it. Fuck, buddy. Nah.
Is it?
Man, hey.
Cause that's what it sounds like, Rodney, don't it? Because if you think about it, he's saying that if I answer your call, if I call you,
when I'm lit and I'm drunk, I be like, "Hey, why the?"
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. So look, I really want people to chime in. So for instance, let's go to the work. Let's change gears for a second because I want to come back to this because I got several different other scenarios and they real life scenarios because I keep it all the way real on here and I don't give a fuck, excuse my expression. Period. But y'all know I don't care. Y'all know Tiana has always been a very blunt and forthcoming person. No matter what, I say what I feel. I'm learning tact though, so that's a good thing. As I grow, I'm starting to learn tact.
Tell you this though, another thing. Fuck that. I do feel entitled sometimes.
Oh, see? Now it's coming out. Y'all hear this? It's coming out.
And I'm hyped because I don't got to work tomorrow. No, I do feel entitled sometimes. Because if people fucking ask me for Cash App money and I give it to them.
He want that whole feedback, y'all. You don't want the...
No, I'm not even talking, I'm not talking about the payback. I'm just saying. Because I don't trip off of it like that. But sometimes I do have times where I need help too or whatever.
Right.
So if I ask you for that shit and the motherfucking... That motherfucking blue message don't start the that. Like, I know you read the motherfucker.
Yeah.
But if you ain't typing back, then I get mad at that shit. Because it's like, I tend to help out the motherfuckers. And I ain't saying I'm looking for anything back. But if I ask for it, because I never tend to ask for shit, I do feel some sort of entitlement. Like,
I can understand that.
Fucking look out for a motherfucker. So I do feel entitled.
I understand that. So listen, my thing is this. I have no problem with sometimes feeling like you're entitled to things. However, my problem lies when you think that, okay, so anybody else who knows me, especially my cousin, that's who's in the studio with me tonight. For people who don't know, that's tuning in. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking the title for tonight is entitled much ? We're talking about people who presume the whole entitled feeling, and they feel like they're entitled to something because they give you friendship or they give you companionship or any of those types of things. And I was going to switch gears and go towards the whole working in a professional setting and seemingly being entitled. But before I go there, I'm going to tell you like this. I don't have a problem with that whole feeling like you're entitled to something, but it's when it becomes overwhelming. Like, I don't owe you shit. Like you said, I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you anything but a phone call. Thank you for being in my life. And if anybody knows me, they knows that if I can do, I'm going to give. I'm going to give my last, and I'm going to make sure you know that I appreciate you. But at the end of the day, if I'm doing stuff and I'm showing my appreciation and I'm showing that I appreciate you and what you bring to my life, don't feel like I'm entitled to do that all the time, number one. And number two, that I'm entitled to do the things that you want, not need, because it's a difference between the want and the need. And I think adults forget that. Not that I'm entitled to do what you want me to do every single time that you want me to do it. Maybe sometimes I'm not available to do it.
That's true. I mean, but I think it comes down to everything has a limit to it. You know, don't overuse it, abuse it, but don't be scared to ask either. And
I mean,
I think you gotta put certain people, certain shit in categories. At least
that's
I do
for sure. Now
I put certain shit in
no.
categories.
The older I get, I realize that I definitely need to start putting people in certain categories because I think I give too many people the benefit of doubt. That I mean, and then what's even more weird nowadays is that more people are coming out the woodworks, like with what I'm trying to listen. It's so weird, y'all. More people coming out the woodworks, like I have to do certain stuff for them or I have to be a certain way with them. Like, no, just because you envision that in your mind does not mean that that's how I have to be. Like, if I myself, Tiana Chantel Easton, and most of y'all probably don't even know my real damn name, but if I myself, Tiana Chantel Easton, feel like that's not something that I want to do, I'm not going to do it. And you could get mad, sad, throw a tantrum, and do all that. But if that's something that I don't want to do, guess what? It's not going to happen. And you can't. Wow. Now, here's the other problem with being entitled or feeling entitled. When you feel entitled, and because a person does not do exactly what they expected you to do, then they think that it's okay to just be mad at you, and then they try to turn themselves into a victim. Like
I don't think that's feeling entitled.
No, they're so entitled that they make up stuff, right, and they turn themselves into a victim because you don't do what they want you to do.
To me, that's called like
crazy.
Like, no. That's called like bullshit or like blackmailing or trying to use you. So because you know you didn't do what they want to do, they want to play the victim or try to use another side to make you feel like guilty or something. Or at least, you know what I'm saying? Because entitlement to me, like I just said, like I feel entitled if I bust my ass or be 100 for a motherfucker at least to be 100 back with me. I feel like people owe me that shit. That's the least that they can do.
Yeah, but you do realize that most people won't do that, and that's the thing, though. You know, I feel like certain people, you know, they act this way to get attention that they're not getting from somewhere else. Like, so I don't really want to tell people out.
I mean, motherfucker, look up the definition.
So listen, if y'all are just joining us, we are talking entitled much with the question mark, and we are delving into people in friendships and relationships who think that it's okay to have a sense of entitlement because they give someone their companionship and they give someone a friendship. Y'all gotta weigh in. Ronnie, the number. Oh, listen. If y'all want to call in, 202-299-6673 is the number. If you want to call in, again, that's 202-299-6673. If you guys want to call in, listen.
Let me do this real quick.
Okay.
So you know me, I always tend to look up shit.
Because I know I was gonna give the politically correct definition, but then I said, you know what? Tonight we're gonna give it from our perspectives, so people can see where we coming from.
We always do it our way, but the real Merriam-Webster definition of entitled: having a right to certain benefits or privilege. All right. So that brings me. I am entitled at certain motherfucking times.
Well, I feel like we all have a sense of entitlement at some point or another.
What's wrong?
But when does it become a toxic type of entitlement?
When you abusing it and you doing it too much.
Okay. We got a caller. Hold on, y'all. Caller, can you hear us? Hold on. Oh, I gotta turn it up. Okay, there we go. Caller, can you hear me?
Yo, I can hear you.
There we go.
Oh, okay, what's up, Slim?
So you gotta tell everybody that's listening what your name is and where you from.
Okay, so this Popeye's chicken sandwich right here or whatever.
Oh, you found them Joe Slim. Yo,
I love my friends. Hey, boo
wee. That's my name though. Fuck that shit.
Listen, you ain't even hear what I said. Hey, boo wee.
Boo wee. That's my shit.
Listen.
Listen, because y'all really talking about some shit right now that really like hit home sometimes. You know,
all right, well, I'm gonna take a shot for you, champ.
You know what I'm saying? That shit really hit home because people really think they entitled to a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like entitled. You just because I have a car and we're in a relationship, you entitled to drive my car because you can't get to work. What the fuck you mean?
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, that's good though. That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
I hate that shit.
Let me tell you something. The only way that I think that anybody should feel entitled is you got a ring on somebody's fucking finger. That's the only way you're gonna be entitled.
Exactly. And I mean, so what are your thoughts on not being in a relationship and you have close friends that have a sense of entitlement when it pertains to things that you do? Like, how do you feel about that? Because it's different when you're in a relationship.
Let me say, you're in a relationship. That's what you are in.
No, but I'm talking about for your friends, the ones that are just friends. Like, how do you feel about friends who have a sense of entitlement with you?
I need to ask them a question. What's going on? What's up?
Okay.
Because I don't think that I need to be there for your every step. I don't think you need to be there for my every step. I don't think that just because if we did a project together or something like that, then yeah, of course you're entitled to some profit. entitled to something. But, okay, I'm sitting in the house writing jokes.
Right.
Somebody go do some stand-up. Whatever. You there. We might be smoking. Whatever. Drinking. Whatever. You might say one joke. I'm going to be like, all right. Just because I put you a little piece of joke in my joke, don't mean that you're entitled to this joke.
To the whole thing, exactly, and that was, and you know what, my example when we first started out the show, as it pertains to like my book, and maybe somebody might have contributed something, and then they feel like they're entitled to like some money or whatever.
So let me say that because you said that shit, and I was like, please listen, just because you done canoodle with somebody and you want to put them in your book don't mean they're entitled to be in your book. They're not entitled just because they ask you, can they be in your book? Just because they say, oh, I need to be in your book.
Right.
That doesn't mean you have to put them in your book. You put them in your book because you want to put them in your book.
Exactly.
It's all about you, and it's all about choices. Life is about choices.
Exactly.
I choose not to put your ass in my book. I choose to put your ass in my book.
Right.
You're not entitled to nothing on this dime.
Listen, I'm telling you, like people be missing it, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. But hold up, we gonna keep going. So you get back on our live, so we can keep going. Thank you so much for calling in.
Always.
And we about to pick back up.
I'll catch y'all.
All right. So if you're just joining us, I'm about to read this comment too because it's a good one. It is a good one. If you're just joining us, we're talking entitled much, and we put a question mark. We're talking about friends and people in relationships and them feeling entitled. So Arnetia, my boo, Nettie, she said, yes, I find that people sometimes feel that if you have quote unquote history or ties, then you are supposed to do whatever. But that's not so. I do for you when I can do and because I choose to, not just because you said to. No guilt. Man, hold up. Let me read that movie. I do for you when I can do and because I choose to, not just because you said to. No guilt trips. Oh my God, that's the word. But hold up, let's put that word on pause. We got Mama Avis joining us, and it's her birthday today. Happy birthday. Okay, now we going back. So listen, Arnetia just spoke a whole word because that like everything that she just said was the reason why I really thought about this idea.
So I want to ask her a question.
All right, he want to ask you a question, Nettie.
Miss Vetty.
Nettie.
Nettie. Oh, I thought you said Nettie. Do you ever feel entitled?
Oh.
Because I feel like everybody, not trying to, but this is maybe their answer how they feel. But I feel like everybody is saying, oh, no, I'm going to do what I want when I can, whatever. But do you ever feel entitled? Because it is entitlement, question mark.
So this is the thing. There are times that I have felt entitled, and that's why I wanted to shift the conversation away from friendships and relationships and go to the professional side of things as far as work relationships, and then come back. But since we tend to lock in on relationships and friendships on the show.
So this week, do you ever feel entitled?
But let me tell you, I have felt entitled sometimes, but it has never been one of those things where I have made a person feel guilty, or it's never been one of those things where I've told a person like, oh, well, you need to do it. Okay, I'll be honest. There's one friend that I have, and Ronnie, you stupid as hell. We're talking about when it comes to money from anybody, including grandma.
I feel the same way, bro. My grandmother owed me some fucking money too.
Grandma on here, shut up. She gonna slap the shit. Hey, y'all, grandma gonna slap him. He better stop playing with her. He already know JB don't be playing them games. I don't even know why he tried it just now. But
So let's not talk about have you made anybody feel guilty or whatever.
No.
Just do you feel entitled?
I just said I had.
All right.
Because
but you try to put a disclaimer on
No, I wasn't gonna put a disclaimer on it, but what I was gonna say was I think a part of formulating this show in my head allowed me to actually be able to sit back and evaluate myself. And most times the important thing is that we don't look at ourselves and we don't realize the things that we do that we don't like when other people do it to us. But it takes for somebody to do it to us for us to realize that we don't like that shit. And it's like, well, hold up. I don't like that feeling, but dang, have I done that to somebody else? That's just like when we did the ghosting joint. And I was like, damn, like, have I ever ghosted anybody? Like, these conversations, listen, conversations with She is based on making people really sit down and think, like, are these things that I do? Because these are toxic behaviors. And not everything that we talk about is negative. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of our conversations, when I come up with topics, or when somebody comes to me with a topic, I try to come up with topics that are going to make people really think about who they are at this time and who they can be and how they can be better in the future. So Arnettia answered his question. Look at Rodney talking about he ghosted. I know you was on that.
Did everything.
So Nettie said that she used to feel entitled, but she never guilt tripped until she evolved. I had to understand that no one owes you anything. However, I will treat you accordingly if I feel that it's a one-sided situation. Right, exactly. And that's all you have to do. If you feel it's one-sided. But this is the thing.
That's what I'm trying to
so when you feel like it's one-sided, right? And you feel like you need to go to treating people accordingly, right?
Right.
You gonna do it in a rah-rah type of way, or are you gonna do it in a chill type of way?
I don't know. It takes time and growth. Like, and off of what she said, for me, certain people, like if I just meet you and shit, and if I don't know you, then certain shit, I kind of figuring out, but I'm like, nah. You know me? I hate to say it, I'm kind of like selfish and
but that's why
I'm a very
y'all,
person.
He don't even know that that's why I called him for this show. I called him for this show because I know he's so nonchalant and so like, whatever. Like he had like that's how the Emotional or Nas series was created.
Yeah, because
of him.
Like, but I do have fucking. Like,
but he does. I know that he's so nonchalant, but I also know that he has feelings. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, if you have an issue and you feel like somebody's not quote unquote doing what you think they should do, what are you really gonna do?
I don't know. It's like time for me. I gotta figure shit out. I don't just because it's easy for people to say, "Oh, I'll just cut it off," or "I don't deal with it."
Okay.
But then like, I don't know if you fuck with him, if you got feelings or whatever. It's a lot of emotions.
There's a lot of variables
that can come into it that I can't say I will deal with everybody the same way. I think I deal with each situation accordingly. So.
Exactly. But my thing is this, and this is where I have a problem, because I just had this issue, and the joint, she wanted me, she a friend or whatever. I hope she listening for real, but nah, for real, just so she can understand what my perspective is on this situation.
No, I understand. I'm not doing that.
But you want me to do something. I'm not 100% to do it. I'm not feeling well. Right. But even though I'm not 100%, I'm still at this place doing what it is that you want me to do, even though I'm not 100%. I probably was like at 45%.
So now I get what you're saying, because you know what my response, if you would have called me and said, "Hey, cousin, I'm feeling like this," you know my response, "Hey man, fuck that shit." Like,
yeah, you would have been like, "Go your ass home."
Yeah,
you definitely would have been like, "Why the fuck you even leave out the house?"
Yeah,
you would have cursed. I know you would have cursed me out. And he would have said more than
like
that.
Real shit, but because I know certain situations or certain people, you gotta know like, damn, are these people really fucking with me because they genuine, or are these people fucking with me because they know I tend to overcare a little bit, and you been
push myself to the fucking limit.
You know what I'm saying? Like you about to motherfucker do a pretzel and some more shit, and they can't even do a half a push-up.
Listen, and I'm gonna tell you, like that shit really. Like I had already been peeping, standing back, watching, right? But just the outcome and the end results of that shit just made me realize, like, yo, people crazy as I don't know what. If they think you supposed to do exactly what they want you to do, when they want you to do it, how they want you to do it, no matter how you feel. So if I'm not feeling well, and I say that I'm not feeling well and I can't today, you know what? I'm going to show up, but you know what? I can't give you the 120% that I normally give you. But I'm going to give you about 75, right? I'm going to give you 75, but I myself know in my mind that I'm only feeling 30%.
Well, you gotta
but I'm going to give you 75. I'll communicate. Trust and believe. I'll communicate.
Like that because this one thing I found. It's two things I found out about like people can tell you anything about people or whatever, but until you see it for your own eyes, and you gotta go through the motions, you gotta feel it. Cause I could tell you this person ain't good for you, but if in your mind you still rocking them.
I think I got it now.
No, I'm not saying like I'm just saying in due time. I don't have people tell me, "Oh, this person not good for you." I don't want to say still acting blind to it. If I'm like, I'm going to deal with it my way.
Okay.
You still got to go through the motions. You still got to kind of figure it out on your own.
And it is one of those things where everything you learn. You got to learn.
That's the beautiful thing about life.
You got to go through shit to learn. Right, exactly.
If you still on the same shit, people tell me, oh, nah, I ain't grow. I ain't learn nothing.
Oh, hey, Tay.
I can't fuck with you.
So,
I can't.
Hey,
tell Tay I love
you.
Love
you back.
For you.
Listen. If y'all just joining in, and we close to almost 8 o'clock, but if y'all just joining in, we are talking about entitlement. We put a question mark on it because we wanted to really talk about people who feel entitled across different, I guess, arenas.
So it was one more thing I wanted to say. There was two things about what we talking about. So gotta go through the motions. You gotta learn, figure people out,
right.
Then also. People only gonna fucking do what you allow them to do.
That's so true.
That was my second. And
that's so true.
So you gotta figure out like if you always been given 100, if a person ain't used to it, if you like damn I'm only at 75 and 30 off, maybe they might sense like damn this shit not right, and since they used to always getting it this fucking way, it's like
So and I think that's my problem. My problem is I am always exerting and overextending myself for people, and I feel like when I decide that at one point in time I just cannot overexert or overextend myself, people act like it's the end of the world, and this shit irritates me. Like these last couple of weeks have been really, really challenging for me to stay in a place of peace because people are getting mad at me because I'm not doing I'm not exerting that 125% for them. But it's like, if I'm dealing with something, I'm going through something, if anybody know me, they know I'm always smiling. Anybody who know me, really truly know me, y'all know I smile through my shit. Okay? That's one thing that you can always say, Tiana's smiling. You may catch me maybe once or twice where I may have had a drink and some shit may have hit me or something like that, but for the most part, listen, Lord of mercy, listen, I definitely, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I am famous and infamous. It could be something killing me right now. Guess what I'm doing? I'm smiling. I'm talking. So, I showed up today.
I want to speak on that though. Like, I mean, it's good to smile, but at the same time, you got give motherfuckers like the raw and uncut feeling, like. You know, like how we talked about emotions, it's no such thing as too much emotions. Like, emotions are just a thing. So, if I'm always used to you smiling, so I swear, but I know you will. I'm going to just use you as an example.
Yes, he knows me.
I'm always used to you smiling, and you frown or you cry or whatever, then I'd be like, hold on, something not right. Like, she acting different. She acting weird. Not just knowing that you really expressing yourself and being who you are. So,
right.
What I want to say to you and anybody that's out there, like, express yourself. I'm not going to say fake it because I don't think people fake it, but don't try to put a Band-Aid over situations. Be you at all the time.
I mean, hold up. Let me stop you for 1 second. I'm going to always be me at all times, but this is a whole nother topic that I might use for next week, even though I did something like this earlier for International Women's Day. No.
I'm playing. It's a joke. Talk, bro.
Nah, so everybody is so used to the black woman being strong. So much so that when we decide that we don't want to be strong anymore, we are looked at as less than. But did y'all ever stop to think that maybe we don't want to always be classified as strong? Maybe today I want to be emotional. Maybe tomorrow I want to be weak. And it's okay. It's all right. Because it's just one goddamn day that for one day only, I don't want to be fucking Superwoman. I don't want to be Superwoman today. Today, I want to take my cape off, and I want to hang that bitch up, and I want to be in my feelings. So, I feel like society places this stigma on black women because that's what we're known as. Oh, rah, rah, we're so strong, we're so this, and we're so that. Like, we actually feel like we have to be that what society has paid.
Right.
And it's crazy because of all the other things that we have to deal with, and of all the other things that we have to live up to, we feel like now that's something that we were taking on as us having to do and having to be. Like, now we feel like we have to be this strong, you can't touch this type woman. And it's just like, what about the days when you can't be that?
What about the days? Who cares? I mean, not to say it like that. I'm just trying to give you like a real, like, you know me, at times, now, when we ride out from this zone or whatever, you know, it's different from on the radio, but I try to give people like real answers. Nobody tends to care. Not to say it like that, because your real people should care, but the world just don't give a fuck about us. Like, and it's sad to say it like that, but that's when you gotta know who your real people are, who your real friends are. Like, I feel like it's a lot of people that's just, what I want to say, like, you ever seen like whales or sharks like in the ocean? You see how the little fishes just be gliding with them,
right,
just coming along for the ride.
Exactly.
I feel like it's a lot of people like that in the world. So,
that's
you kind of gotta like figure it out fast because time is always moving. But the sooner that you can figure that shit out, I think
the sooner a solution can come into play. And I get it. I totally get it. But it's just like, listen, I don't owe you shit. I don't care what you do. Like, because, listen, whatever you do, I'm going to do for you. Like, I'm going to make sure I'm matching what you're doing. And sometimes I'm superseding that what you're doing. So at the end of the day, if I'm superseding what you're doing, bruh, like, I don't owe you anything. And even if I'm not superseding it, even if I'm not matching it, I owe you nothing. We're friends. We're in a relationship. I'm not in this relationship or this friendship with the expectation that you owe me something because I'm giving you my friendship. I'm giving you my loyalty. I'm giving you my love. Let me tell you something. As much as I've been hurt, I still try to walk around offering people love and light. Even if I tell you take this love and light and shove it up your ass, I'm still offering you love and light. I don't care what I said before or after I offered you the love and light, I'm still offering it. And it's just like, I'm offering it because that's what we should walk around and, you know what I'm saying? We should give people love and light. Those are the two things that you should always offer to people. Wow. No matter how you feel. Why? Yeah. Because God is love. The universe is made up of love. Like, the more you love, the more you elevate. The more you elevate, the more you vibrate to different frequencies and different levels in life. The more you love, the more doors open for you. You love so that them doors can open for you.
Are you sure?
I'm very positive because love is the foundation of life. Like, you are supposed to give love to everybody, regardless of how, listen, and I know it's hard. Let me tell you something. I'm not saying that it's easy to do, because it's not. That is one of the hardest things with my growth and my spiritual maturity and my matriculation through life. That's one of the things that's been the hardest thing for me to do, is to still give love to people who have given me their ass to kiss. And it's a lot of them, including family members, okay? You can't replace your family. That's your motherfucking family. So you got to deal with them because they dysfunctional anyway. So you got to deal with your dysfunctional ass family, and you got to just say whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's your family. I got to love them anyway. But for the people that's outside of that circle of family, you understand what I'm saying?
That's what
I'm going to always be 100.
I'm just saying, because to me, and we might agree to disagree, I don't always have to give love. Like, the reason why I say that, it's a little saying that I always say. But I do tend to be 100, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have my good days, I'm gonna have my mean fucking days. I don't care. I feel the person who's always being good or nice, they always get the short end of the fucking stick.
Oh.
Is that fucking fair? No, it's not. But it's reality. So, I'm like,
well, you gotta play to somebody who knows.
You gotta play it by like both sides. That's what I'm saying. So, you saying we gotta give love, to me, I'm like, I kind of disagree, because you can always do that shit. You know what? Since people know you always want to give love, they'll use you for what the fuck they know they can. What you doing?
So guess what?
Love. It's like you exerting energy to the wrong people. That's just my opinion.
So let me tell you this. I wholeheartedly agree with you. This took some growing to get where I am right now. It took growing. This person that sits right here today,
Yeah.
If you had said that 5 years ago, I would have told you,
go fuck yourself. I know you though. Like I'm saying, like.
Let me explain something to you. When I say that you are to give love to people, like love is, like that's God is love. You understand what I'm saying? And I have noticed, as hard as it is to give love in the face of people being rude and anything else that's outside of anything positive, I've learned that it makes that person feel 50 times more stupid for being an asshole in the face of you giving love and light than they would had they just said, you know what, I'm having a bad day today. Can I have a hug? Or you know what, I know that you were just like, you just came in here and you meant well, but you know what, I've been feeling some type of way all day long.
Right.
So, listen, anybody that's listening in, understand this. Conversations with She, Tiana, Chantel, Easton Wall, as hard as it is, my mission every day when I wake up has been for the last like 3-4 months is to continually give love and light, even when people are pushing my buttons. Because anybody know me know that I pop the fuck off too. So I'm just saying. But I refuse to live being an angry person because of my past hurts. Your past is your past for a reason.
I get on you about that. Like,
right.
When we talking like, hey, boo, you got 5-10 minutes, get it out. And
listen, and it's crazy that he says that because I tell people all the time, how many minutes, determine how many minutes you want to be mad. Be mad for those minutes, kick, scream, holler, yell, throw shit, do whatever you want to do, get it out, and then after those 5 to 15 minutes, then move on with your life. Because if this problem is not going to matter in 5 years, then why waste 5 minutes of your time being mad about it?
Even 1 year. It probably won't even matter next month.
I just use 5 and 5 because I
no,
feel that sounds cool.
No, it is sound cool, but I'm just trying to break it down a little bit more. Sometimes we get so caught up, and my dad told me this shit. He said, never do shit off a angry heart.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a hot heart. Because when you mad, you got emotions going on. You thinking like, You sleep that shit off, wake up the next morning, like, man, I wasn't even tripping out this shit. Like,
but what about the entitled motherfuckers who wake up the next morning and feel like they still want to be some
we gotta figure out the reason
so
why.
That's what I'm telling you.
I'm
like,
just saying,
so you know what I learned?
I just want to say this though. When you said, what about the entitlement motherfuckers who think they need shit? It's not our job to figure out what the fuck is wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? You know something wrong.
Okay.
You know they think they entitled.
Right.
So first, if you know the problem, you can address the problem. You don't even fall for their trap. Or you just hit them with the, hey, you know what? I done had a long week. Try to shift the energy. To me, life is about shifting energy.
That's true.
Real shit. Like, I can use real examples. You done seen me be around bad shit. I ask the person what you want to do. If they say nothing, then I try to shift it because keep talking about the same problem just adds more fuel. It's like, we got to shift this shit. Like, we got to move on. Life's still going to go on, to me.
That's right. So I'm going to say this. Once you learn that the issues people have with you aren't really with you and it's more or less to do with their internal battle with themselves, you learn grace. And you learn how to be quiet in the midst of issues with them. That's a quote. That's not my own quote. That is a quote that I found online, and it applied very well. But listen, we about to get out of here. We got 3 minutes, y'all. Say a little prayer for me. I'm going to say a little prayer for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ray, as always, thank you for coming in the building. Listen, Cat's Lair is up next. Ooh,
Cat is back.
She's back. 8 to 10, 8 to 10, 8 to 10, 8 to 10. Hey. Yeah, make sure y'all check her out though, cause she be spitting that shit. So y'all make sure y'all check her out. Listen, say a little prayer for me while I say a little prayer for you, and we out. Me, I accidentally did that.
Y'all, one day Cat gonna feature me as a host on her show. Yeah, one day. I'm looking forward to it. That's my goal. What's up, T?
Hey, baby.